What is going on, guys? I'm here today just gonna be doing some tour games. So SBLs are right around the corner, coming up in like December or January, whatever. So of course I gotta brag a little bit, show off some agency techs and shit. So gotta get my cred up there, show off for the managers, even though half the managers don't like me. So anyway, we got a game here versus Hyoga. This was for POCL, I believe. But anyway, yeah, okay. So I'm using this. I'm using this T-Spike build that I got from Alum. Actually, I played Alum here in this other tour game. They use this exact team, and they sent it to me, and it's really nice. It's this T-Spike build from Emerald, and it's pretty fire. It has some nice text. So here we have the Jirachi lead. So versus this, I mean, like, I really wanted to not let in something like a loom or anything. So like a lot of times I will just straight up double to like raid in this case to not let up any momentum, because in that situation I can get my T-Spike up while getting the sleep and keeping it slept, so that I can switch around and they'll maybe even try sporing again to no avail. So here I make the hard switch to Roserade as he stealth rocks, and I thought I messed up. I thought I kind of fucked up here. I was kind of like, oh shit, because now all of a sudden it seems like I'm behind, but I chance it. I'm thinking, wait, maybe this thing's kind of slow, because my raid is 270, so it's actually kind of fast. And the fact he's singing, maybe he thinks that he'll just like tank. He wants to get his rocks up, so he just wants to get that hit and maybe U-turn out later, or get the rocks off and maybe U-turn out after. So I ended up going with the sleep powder, and I end up hitting the toxic spike up. I go to Jirachi to okay, so it ends up being the bull beam shit. So by this I can reasonably deduct that he is a Doug trio here, because he has the Jirachi lead to U-turn into it. He is the bull beam clef. So I mean, it's just obvious he is a clef able in the back, or I mean a Doug tree in the back. So I just sub up to get a free that's how, okay. So yeah, I just sub up, try and get the offensive. That Thunderbolt actually comes into play. I was wondering how this sub gets broken here, but I get some chip off on this, which is nice. It's nice for whatever in the back, Gengar in the back, for Laddie in the back. We get the Thunder crit. We crit him twice. Sorry about that. And he ends up breaking the sub with that U-turn. I was like, how is that Jirachi so unholy strong? But yeah, we end up getting the damage necessary on Doug to make it die here, which is really big for Roserade, Heat Ran, and shit like that in the back. So we end up going back to Roserade because it threatens, his Doug is no more. He doesn't threaten to trap it. I can threaten sleep on both of these big threats. I'm thinking he has probably, I don't know. Well, I know the team, but like at this point I'm probably thinking he has like, I don't know, Starmie, Gengar, Rotom, Laddie, some shit like that. I don't know. It looks very similar to this team that Excel was using with the Machamp, Togekiss, and Starmie. But I actually don't see the last of this game. So yeah, we end up getting the sleep off on Clef, or no, we Leaf Storm it, because I know he wants to, or I know I really want to get the damage off on that. And then I end up, I double back so that I can threaten both of these without having to burn my sleep yet. And I know Jirachi's coming back to take the Leaf Storm, so I can keep pressure on everything right now with Toxic and T-Spikes up. Oh, hold on 1 second. Alright, yeah, I messed that up. I think I had a pause, so yeah, I had a phone call. So what was happening? Oh, yeah, so keeping the pressure up on this Jirachi. I actually rock on the U-turn because well, he actually ends up just wanting to sack it. I expected to protect. I don't know why he just U-turned. That's actually kind of interesting. Maybe he expected me to rock up. Who knows? But anyway, at this point, I can just protect stall everything, and as long as I keep Clefable from healing up, then that's huge. So here, I don't think he wants to risk anything for a while because he's already behind. He knows he needs to get a kill on something. If he mispredicts and I just attack, then it's really bad for him. So he absolutely needs a kill here to stay ahead. If he gets a kill here, then it could be 5-4 for him. Close to 4-4 because Machamp would be almost dead. But here we finally attack into this Machamp as he mispredicts. He's finally getting impatient. He thinks I might go back to Heat Rain and protect stall a little more to get it into Shadow Ball range or Lava Plume range, but we end up getting that play right. Here I definitely misplay because like it's so obvious like a T-Wave or sub or something's coming, but I also really wanted this burned because even if it is even if I do get T-Waved on this and this is burned, then it automatically cripples it and makes it so much easier to deal with. But it's still a threat, honestly, when it's not taunted. So I really misplayed here a little bit. Here I have to switch, I think, because I can't let I think I just Focus Blast because it prevents Clefable from coming in. It it obviously hits through the roost really hard. But you know, how long am I going to keep hitting Focus Blast? So I obviously opt to switch, just so I for sure don't let in this Clefable, because if I miss Focus Blast versus the Clef, then you know, it's going to heal up and it's all of a sudden it's going to be a huge threat again. So I have to you know, just keep whittling away with this Swampert. It's the near max attack. It's pretty bulky. I think it hits like 340 attack, something like that. But yeah, it's not much speed. It's just like a nice tank swamp for this type of build, and it's nice because Roserade actually absorbs the sleep from Loom, so Swampert can keep coming in without too much worry of Loom going too brazy. But yeah, I think we end up getting a Earthquake crate here to finally get the kill on this. That thing could have been kind of scary. But Excel told me his last was Machamp, or I mean Machoke. On his team, on Excel's team, it's Starmie, but he's probably just messing with me. So here we have a game versus Snowfall. We have another T-Spike build, and we actually have 2 T-Spike teams. Yeah, don't bring T-Spikes versus me, guys. Like, apparently I'm the T-Spikes master now. We get the sleep off on this Roserade, and it ends up being Poison Point 2, I believe, so that's really good for me. I make the aggressive read because I know his Heat Rain's coming in. Like, if I just T-Spike up, like, that doesn't do anything for me. Like, he still has Roserade. So I think my best play right now is to HP ground. And now I know Switch is coming or attacked or something. So I opt to T-Spike just to make sure that he has to go back into Roserade if he wants to stop that T-Spike. And that makes him be more susceptible to with a chip on Roserade in the long run. So, you know, I can start to whittle it down from there. If I can get rocks up and keep getting T-Spike up, that makes Roserade have to keep coming in. And that makes it so Swampert stays out too. So that's really big. So here we end up just Leaf Storming, getting the chip off on this thing. Here, I think I go to Heat Ran because it stops the Shadow Ball, Wisp, and I can take a Focus Blast and threaten back. So here I'm going to get lucky and Lava Plume into the mist, but I still, like I said, I tank. But here his best option is actually to go Swampert. And I think on this team, this is Protect Earth Power. So his Heat Rain is actually not even good versus this. So I think that's why he has to go Swampert here. But, well, actually he doesn't really have to. Because here he goes Empoleon on the Tect. And it's like, why didn't you just go to that? So I don't know. But here I just get the chip off on it. Heat Rain was still big. It's still really good, but and Roserade was probably a lot better in hindsight. But I also can't let Empoleon set up with like Ice Beam or whatever and sweep me. So here I get the play wrong. I go Gengar because it threatens basically everything right now, and it absorbs the U-turn. Like Swampert's taking damage right now just to come in. I think I end up attacking just to get damage off on this. So that lets me U-turn. I kind of played this kind of meh, I think. Like I said, that Roserade was probably better into the Empoleon. But I mean, there we kill off that with our Elemental Punch Rachi. At this point, I can just EQ a lot. Yeah, with Flygon just wins at this point after he locks himself into Outrage. It's a clean sweep with EQ. So yeah, actually, it's not as bad as I thought. I thought I played that like terribly or something for a second when I was like clicking through the replay earlier. But yeah, we get this game 1. And then we have a game here versus Pietro, otherwise known as HMNIP. He's a fellow Italian guy, or well, not fellow. He's an Italian guy. Good guy. I love him. He's funny as hell. He's nice. He's definitely hooked me up with teams and shit, and I love the dude. But yeah, this is for Italian Premier League. I ended up somehow I ended up being the most expensive player at 19k on IPL. Pietro tricking did the power rankings, ranked him first to like mess with them. I was 4th in this, so but this is a really good game. I enjoyed this one a lot. So he is in a self lead. I really don't think he wants to like no one runs Psychic or Zen. I mean, even if they do, you don't want to just Zen or Psychic right off the bat generally. So and even then Sash is getting a little common on Machamp lately, so he ends up U-turning into my payback because I expect him to just stay in. But here, based on the damage, I actually did calc this and see that that was kind of like low damage. And my Machamp is like 200 speed, so I think he's going to just stay in and probably U-turn. Like, Bullet doesn't do much for him. Like, I don't think Bullet's a good play. Like, he just wants to U-turn and get chip on this to revenge it with something else. So I end up D-punching, and he hits himself in his confusion. Here, I think he's just going to try and get the last damage off that he needs with Bullet Punch. So I actually have Bullet Punch on this, which I like never do. Like, someone sent me this team like last second, and I was like, okay, let's go with it. And it ends up working out for me there. Here, I really have no idea what this is. For some reason, I'm thinking it's like DD because it he has like this like offensive looking team. I think this is like some kind of setup, but it ends up just being Specs. For some reason I was thinking it was like Lum DD. It's like, this is your best response, but well, I guess it would make sense that you know, this is a specs. So. But either way, even though it is specs, and I kind of thought it might be, I sacked Machamp either way because I don't want to just lose Laddie. Like Laddie right now starts putting in work, does 50 to this Scarfrotchy right here, which comes in key later. Here he ends up going back to his elf, and I think he's going to boom, but he ends up getting the rocks up, and then I realize, oh shit, this is rain, or at least part rain. And here I get the rocks up on the rain dance though. Knowing that he has the Kingdra here and the scissor, that's why I rocked here rather than go like Rotom in the back on an expected boom, because I think he's going to just U-turn or something, or hard Kingdra, something like that. Or no. I just think he's going to you know, rain dance here or something because he has the Kingdra. So I end up just rocking here. So on the Kingdra here, this is why I didn't protect, because I think he's going to assume I'm going to tact and opt to not boom with his elf and just go hard Kingdra, as to not blow up his elf too early, and also to gain momentum with the Kingdra. So here I get good chip on Kingdra when I expected that switch in. So here he's just firing off you know, Hydros, so I end up just sacking Tar here. He is the Scarfrotchy, so my DD Tar isn't doing much except for keeping this Kingdra at bay for the time being. So I have to just D-pulse. Here, I end up just staying in because if he U-turns, then I almost certainly get another kill because he's already shown 2 steals. So he realizes that and opts to just Iron Head here, which is good. Good play by him. But I actually get good chip on it. So, but here I get a Swampert here because I realized that he wants to keep this thing out. He cannot let me attack like at all. I actually was thinking about depulsing again, expecting him to double out, but I just could not afford to make that play. Like, I had nothing to lose, because if I go Swampert here, I just get that much more information. I make him switch out to something that isn't his elf, because all his elf can do is like Rain Dance or like Boom, and of course Rain Dance is good for him, but I don't really expect like a Ludicolo or anything, just based on him having like a Rachi and shit. Like, this Arch type just seems kind of weird. Like, why would you need a Scarfrotchy if you have, like, you know, multiple abuses of rain, etc. So I opt to protect here because he's just gonna keep Iron Heading at this point, because he can't switch in anymore. So here I believe I just Ice Beam, and then I think I protect, and then he ends up U-turning, expecting me to protect, and then I go Rotom on the boom. He's trying to bait that protect so you can move safely. And then here, I do make a misplay. Like, I just trick here. My logic behind this is I want to lock him into a bad move while also keeping it weak. Like, if it's Specs or something, it could be kind of annoying. Like, softening up my Rachi in the back, etc. So I end up just tricking it as he kills me off. So here, I go Rachi now, because, like, obviously Draco, he's locked into Draco, it's gonna kill my Laddie. I mean, it's not gonna do much to Swampert, but still, like, I mean, it's still gonna do a little. And that's just gonna invite, I was still afraid of, like, a Ludicolo, like, I was slightly afraid of, like, Ludicolo or something right here. So Swampert's, like, not the best play at all. Here, I think my best play is to go Rachi because I Thunder, and that keeps, that gives a chance at parrying whatever comes in, paralyzing whatever comes in. And so, if he has, like, even if he stays in with Laddie here, and just wants to try and stack it for a last monster, this Rain Sweep, like that doesn't help him because I just Thunder here and then waste turns with Thunder and shit. Like, so my play all the way is to just Thunder, even though I have Ice Punch. It ends up hitting a Stormy here, which is huge. But this thing is a freaking monster. It's a Specs, so it's pretty scary in rain. So I have to, at this point, I have to sack Latias and then protect Stall out the rain so that I can tank. So I end up protecting once. I'm wondering if a better play is to protect again, just to keep the rain off, just to have a chance of getting the rain off and then EQing, so that I have full health Jirachi for Laddie. But I don't know. But I end up getting lucky there and avoiding the Hydro. But you also have to know, like, I mean, he avoided that paralyzed, that 60% paralyzed on the me, and he had to hit 2 Hydros before that, so. And also, yeah. So the odds were about even, Tricking says later on. So here, you know, Thunder's not doing shit, but I end up just Ice Punching twice for the kill, and we get the victory. So those were some good games from 3 quality opponents. They were real fun. You know, there's always weird sequences in games, man, but it's just about putting yourself in that position, man. That's what it's all about. So catch y'all later.